Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new Upgrade Your OET Reading Part A style practice. My name's Sona and I'm going to be your teacher. I'm a premium preparation provider of the OET. Now, some of you who may have been watching these videos before and heard from me last week will know that I had a really sore throat and was suffering from a sore throat. So have a look at that video if you haven't already to practice on how to give me, your patient, some information and advice. But I'm happy to report to you that I did my COVID-19 test, and as I thought, it was negative. I didn't have a temperature or any of the other symptoms. Now I know that's not the only symptoms you could get, which is why I decided to do a test, one of many I've done, and I'm absolutely fine. I've still got a little bit of a sore throat, so I hope it's going to last me through this video and some reading part A style practice questions that I've designed for you. Now, as I was doing my test, I thought again, what a great resource for you to practice your OET. Remember, the OET is looking at everyday language used by healthcare professionals in real life settings. And what can be more real life than the COVID-19 testing, which is happening at the moment? So what I used were these step-by-step guides which are available on the NHS website. This is the actual website, and I'll put that in the box below as well. And what I thought we'd do today is look at some Part A style practice questions, and we'll also have a quick look at some vocabulary and pronunciation as it comes up. Now, for those of you who don't know or just want a reminder, Part A is made up of 4 texts. And what I recommend you do is just get yourself familiar with these 4 texts. They'll all be on the same topic, in this case, the COVID-19 self-testing guide. So, first of all, I'm going to show you the 4 texts and give you 30 seconds just to read them and get familiar with them. Here's text number 1, and your 30 seconds starts now. Now, don't worry if you haven't read everything in the 30 seconds. That's not the idea of the initial look at the texts. All you're trying to do is to get the gist. And to do that, you just read a few of the words, you read some of the sentences, you skip out some things just to get the general picture. And here we have the reasons why we should get tested. So it's kind of an introduction. Many people with the virus might have mild or no symptoms, which is what I was worried about, and that's why I did it. But we can still spread the virus. Luckily for me, I was negative, but other people who don't know they've got it could still spread it, and this is dangerous. This is why we need to get tested quite regularly. It also gives us some definitions of the DHSC, the Department of Health and Social Care, and what the test is about. And it tells you who should get tested, anyone, everyone, what it is, and then here how often you should get tested, which depends. Okay, just a little bit of pronunciation here. This is swab. So this A sound is an O sound, a swab test. And here, transmissible, contagious. Okay, let's move on to text 2, and your 30 seconds starts now. So, what is this about? Again, you're just looking for the gist, you're just looking for the bigger picture. So, here we've got who the test is suitable for, we've got the different guidelines on the age, and then here what to do if you have any of the symptoms and the treatment advice that you should seek. Text 3 is a little bit longer, but I'm still giving you 30 seconds because all I want you to do is to get the overall picture. Here we go. And this is all about how to take the test. So here we've got some diagrams. In the actual OET, you probably won't get diagrams, but you may well get a set of instructions. One more thing about the actual OET test is you'll always get some kind of chart or flow chart, such as this one here. Have a look at this and this, please, as well. Your 30 seconds starts now. Okay, so this is lots of information on how to read your result, negative, positive or void, and then what you should do next. Of course, report your result. Okay, so now we've had a look at the general picture, I'm going to give you some questions, OET style questions, which are gap fills. So you could get gap fills or short answer questions. Let's start with looking at some gap fill questions. Now you know the texts, you're more familiar with them. I've actually broken it down so that we're looking at each text individually. In the real exam, you're going to use your knowledge of the text to first of all find which text to look at more carefully and then go into answering the questions. But for ease of practice, I've picked out the texts and matched the questions to them already, so it's a little bit easier. So we'll start with text 1 again. And just before we look at the text, I'd like to remind you, if you like these videos, please don't forget to click on the like button, share it with a friend or colleague that you think might like it as well, and subscribe to us so you can follow us when we put out new quizzes or practice questions such as this one. Okay, so back to text 1 then, which if you remember is all about the test. Here's your question, try and answer it. So, by testing as many people as frequently as possible, the aim is to reduce. So, what's the aim? Where was that? The aim was here. What are we trying to do? The aim is to reduce. We can slow the spread. The aim is to reduce something of the virus, reduce the spread of the virus. And I just copy that down here. Let's try another one. Again, it's from text 1, and this is your question. The frequency you should get tested at varies according to personal and the latest protocols. 30 seconds for this one. So if you remember, this was all about who should get tested and why. These were the definitions here, but the frequency is how often. So you should try and remember where this was and look at it more carefully. So this varies according to personal something. So probably a noun I'm looking for and the latest protocols. So there's nothing about protocols here exactly, but how often you should test may vary depending on your circumstances. So your is your personal circumstances and current latest protocols, which are these national or local guidelines. So the answer here is circumstance. Varies according to personal circumstance or circumstances. They would accept both. Okay, your next question coming up is from text 2. Again, I'm just going to give you 30 seconds to answer these questions. In the exam, you do have more time. I'm just trying to get you to find these answers quickly so you're practicing your speed and pace. And of course, here you don't need to write down the answers, you're just locating them and trying to get as close to the answer as you can. So here's your question. And your 30 seconds starts now. Okay, so here this is all about symptoms and where to check for information. So I don't need to read this because the heading here tells me this is only suitable for the following people. I'm looking for guidance and help. If you have symptoms, here we go, or have contracted coronavirus, please refer to NHS guidance online. So please go online to check the NHS for further information. And another question from text 2 for you. Okay, again, this is all about guidance and help. You know your family best. If you are concerned, it's important not to do something in seeking advice. So this is the website. This is what to do if you have symptoms. You can, if they don't get better after 7 days, call these numbers. Here, do not delay getting help, seeking advice if you are worried. Trust your instincts. You know yourself and your family best. Trust your instincts. Do not delay. It's important not to delay. Okay, 2 questions from text 3 coming up for you. So in this case, the sample may be void if the swab does something or is something. So void means it's no good, it's useless, we can't use it. So where do I look? Now I see this little caution triangle. So be careful. Why do you need to be careful? Because you don't want to void something. So do not touch the tongue, cheeks, gum, or any other surfaces with the fabric tip off the swab. If it touches anything else, it may spoil your sample. It may void your sample if the swab touches anything or touches anything else apart from the tonsils and nostrils. One more. So here I'm looking for where I should move the fabric tips over. Now here, this is all about, you can see the circling action. So it's not really rubbing, that's circling. Here, holding the swab between your fingers, open your mouth wide and rub the fabric tip over both tonsils. Do this 4 times, use a torch. So rub the fabric tip, move the fabric tips over both tonsils. Moving on to text 4 now. Remember, this was all about reading the result. It's a little bit like the flowchart or table in your test. Here's your question. It's all about the control line, and your 30 seconds starts now. Okay, so the control line should appear after. So this is the control line. You're looking for some kind of time or some kind of place. The control line should appear after 4 minutes. You will see the control line C begin to appear after about 4 minutes. It should appear, it's after about 4 minutes. And another one from text 4. Okay, this was a negative test shows, so I look for negative, positive, void, negative. The negative test shows one line next to C. One line. The positive, of course, has 2, and then if it's void, you don't have a control line at all. Okay, so we've had a look at completing the answer type questions. Now we're going to move on to short answer questions. This is where they ask you a question and you have to provide them with a short answer, again taken from the text themselves. Just a quick reminder for you as well, if you like these videos, please click on the like button and share them with someone you think would like them too, and subscribe to us. Okay, back to text 1 then, all about the test. Here's your question. You can see it's a complete question. You don't need to fill in the gaps this time. What kind of test is a COVID-19 swab test? Okay, have you found it? We're looking for the kind of test it is. So obviously we look in this part here about the test. This is all about the symptoms. This here is the Department of Health and Social Care. It's a rapid antigen test, and that's your answer. Again, text 1. Who does the test aim to protect? Who are we trying to protect? We are trying to protect the most vulnerable in our families and communities. You just need to copy that down. Moving on to text 2 now. Here we go. Okay, so I'm looking for adolescence. So here we go. I find this in the bold here. How should adolescent tests be carried out? Self-tests and reports with adult supervision. The adult may conduct the test as necessary. So the test for adolescents should be carried out with adult supervision. Another one for you. Okay, so we're looking for a number to call. The numbers, if you remember, were here. So use the NHS 111 coronavirus service if you have symptoms or it hasn't got better after 7 days. But what happens if they can't breathe? If they can't breathe, then it's a medical emergency and we need to call 999, which in the UK is the emergency number for ambulance, fire, police, and lifeguards. 2 questions from text 3 for you. So, what sensations may be triggered by the test? These 2 sets of instructions were all how to conduct the test, so I'm not really going to look here. I might come back to this if I need to, but my first port of call will be this caution. Now, this was reminding me to be careful because if the tip touches anything else, it may void the sample. But I'm going to keep reading. Taking the sample may cause gagging and minor discomfort, but it should not hurt. So, taking the test, triggered by the test, the sensations are it may cause gagging and discomfort. By the way, I'll put these with a capital and a full stop in the exam. You can do that, or you can just copy it exactly as it is here, small g. And gagging is that feeling when you feel like choking, you want to get rid of whatever's in your mouth. Another one for you. So this time it's all about the tonsils. So the tonsils are not in the nose, they're here. What items can be used to help you find your tonsils? This is about how we move the tip, rubbing it back and forwards with a firm contact. Use a torch or a mirror to help you do this. So what should you use? A torch or a mirror? Okay, last two questions coming up for you, and these are all from text 4. Okay, so this time we're looking for the maximum time we should let the test develop. This was all about the results. So I'm going to go back to the top here. You'll see the control line begin after 4 minutes, but the maximum times, I'm going to look at these cautions either here or here. Do not leave the test to develop for longer than 30 minutes, as this will make the result void again. So 30 minutes is the maximum. And the last one. And that's a nice and easy one. How many lines will indicate the result is positive? 2 lines. Don't be worried in case the answers are obvious, they might well be. It's 2 lines. So that's your answer. Okay then, so I really hope you enjoyed this practice of OET Part A style questions. I really encourage you to do the same as well. Look at everyday authentic materials and try and read it with OET in mind. Don't forget to click like, share and subscribe. And if you are interested in finding out more about our on-demand courses, which really go into detail, which help you in the skills and techniques you need, then have a look at our on-demand courses. We have a special offer on our reading course, and you'll find all the links in the information box below. Thanks for watching, take care, and see you again next time. Bye bye.